All right, Taurus, welcome in. Welcome to December 2025. I've already done your 2026 look ahead video. If you want to check that out on the channel, you're more than welcome to do so. Hope everybody's doing great. Let's see what's going on for December. I will say there's quite a lot of activity in your second house and eighth house. And second house is about um, how you make money, but also how, it's based on your worth and value. Uranus is back in that second house until next year. And so there's something really like tying up loose ends. And across the hall in Sagittarius, we have a stellium of the sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury traveling through there. Mercury is still in Scorpio, but it will be in Sag very soon. And then they all move into Capricorn. So the beginning of this month could really be about unearthing things that are very deep for you, especially around your own self-worth and value and how it translates to the outside world, how it translates in terms of maybe career path or financial stability or something along those lines. So if you're having trouble with that, this is probably why. We do have a Gemini full moon as I'm speaking right now. It's happening right now as I'm doing this reading. The Gemini full moon, or later today, actually. Is that right? Well, pretty close at any rate. Later today will be in the energy of it. It's not full until the 4th. And today is the 3rd as I'm doing this. So let's see what's going on for you in terms of the reading. And then I'll go back to the astrology and give you more of an insight as to how you might embrace this astrology, because there's definitely something going on, with your ability to be creative and be in the world. Okay, there's something going on with that. So let's see. What I mean by that is what you might want to do may need to be tweaked. What you're offering to the world may need to be tweaked. If you're currently in an old career path, one that you've had for a long time, it does seem to me like the new abundance is going to require you to be a little bit more creative than what you've been doing. It's almost like the universe is saying you're thinking too small or you're living too small. Okay. So underneath is release. I'm going to take this friendship and then the new moon. Later in the month, we have a new moon in Sagittarius, which is in that 8th house, and the 8th house, the house of death and transformation. So I feel like you might be letting go of friendships or letting go of relationships between now and that new moon, because that moon is about planting seeds based on your experience, based on your wisdom, Sagittarius, right? Based on bigger picture thinking than what you've been doing. So this month may be very transformational for you. Magic, psychic, amen to that, and boundaries. Wow. Let's keep going with the reading here, but there definitely is, it's possible that if you're really opening up to your spirituality, if something is going on with you that you're like not quite sure about, it's not physical. And Taurus, you're just really good at the physical stuff. This other stuff might be very, I don't know, like, I was going to say off-putting, but I don't really think off-putting is the correct word. I think the correct word might be startling. Like, all of a sudden, I feel like I have this ability to connect with people on levels that I never used to be able to. If you're seeing your 3D life, the life that's around you, really changing, you're kind of like, what's going on here? Why is this happening? I feel like it's because you're opening up your spirituality, or you're opening up your connection to the divine. Okay, that's really nice. Justice, Libra, the moon, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Swords. Wow. Conflict, there's the Emperor. I was going to say conflict with an Aquarian, a Libra, a Cancerian. We do have Jupiter moving through Cancer right now. Right? Jupiter moving through Cancer. And that is your third house of your immediate neighbors, siblings. There's definitely some kind of very sharp conversation that, I mean, I see the release. I see that the knives are out. The Justice card has, obviously, because it's Libra, the Ace of Swords there. The Page of Swords. This is like messages coming to you, or you're giving messages or something. Aquarian energy here. Aquarius, Libra, and Aries, Cancer. The Knight of Swords, I've been seeing that recently as rage, but this feels a little bit more like impatience. Like, let's get clear on what's going on. I'm sick of having these feelings. I'm sick of feeling this way. And maybe you might be pushing another person to kind of tell you what's going on in a relationship with you. Like, you're tired of waiting for this person to figure it out. Okay? And there's conflict here. Could be a friend, doesn't have to be a love partner, or there's definitely some conflict here. So let's just keep going here. The Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands, Four of Wands, the Star. There's Aquarius again. Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups. That's nice. The Five of Cups, Hermit, Empress. Even though there's a lot of conflict here, I feel like there's conflict within you also. So it could be manifesting between you and another person. And I definitely get this. I'm really feeling this from you of like, what's going on? Why have all of a sudden all of these emotions? Like, I'm much more grounded than this. I'm better than this. Perfection is performance. Okay? Perfectionism is a performance. It's not the real you. And as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, Aquarius is really about being the most authentic you can be. It's not about what's going to look good to other people at all. In fact, do you ever get that? I mean, do you ever get that feeling about like when things are like too perfect or something, like that there's something wrong here? I just get this. I'm getting that sense that like you might be telling everybody things are perfect, like this Four of Wands and the Knight of Cups and everything, Ten of Pentacles. But there's no shame in being human or being real. All right. There's no shame in being real about things, because I feel like underneath there's a lot of angst or a lot of anger. Maybe there's anger between the two of you that is unexpressed. And so it's, anger turned inward is depression. Yeah. Anger turned inward is depression. And I see this Five of Cups here. There's just a real fear of loss. So I don't say what I mean, right? I'm not being authentic with this person because I don't want to have this argument, or I don't want to. This person may even tell you that you're being too sensitive. And I want to, like, as I'm saying that, like my tongue wants to jump off its roller and get out of my mouth, right? Like, I can't stand that when someone says that. Okay. And I just feel like that might be you too. And you've been hanging on to this anger and rage so much that it's turned into depression. It can also turn into illness. So please be very careful about swallowing your feelings. Can turn into, like, stomach issues, can turn into lots of anxiety. Like, this is really about you being more and more authentic. Okay. Like, if we're going to have another chapter here, then it's going to be different. There's something like very performance oriented about this reading. And with all those planets in Sagittarius is very optimistic energy. It's also very straightforward and blunt. So this is kind of, I just see like the healing potential of you being really authentic is big, but I am getting the feeling that you're kind of afraid how this other person will take it, or other people in your life, not just one other person. Okay, other people in your life. And so there is something here about realizing where you start and someone else leaves off. So this might be another part of the story, that this month is going to be very powerful, and moving into next year is going to be super powerful for you, because Aries is your 12th house, and 12th house is very spiritually connected. It has, it houses spiritual gifts. You also have Sagittarius in that 8th house of connecting to the divine, connecting to your spiritual gifts, being, mediumship, connecting with ancestors, things like that. And I'm just seeing a lot of spiritual action in your chart. So one of the healing things that's going to come of it is that you realize how enmeshed you might be with other people. And when your psychic abilities kind of open up, you're going to be like, I really need space. Okay. I really need my space. I need to, especially if you're married to someone that's very enmeshed with you, or you have a family that's very enmeshed or something like that, or you just grew up that way. And so, this is a time period for that to be shifting, and you might lose some people. You might. Okay. A lot of us on the ascension path lose people along the way because they make different choices. Okay. And that's okay. Right. It's like, I don't know, when we're talking about the ascension path, I talk about it in Pathfinders a lot. I'm talking about quantum entanglement this week as I'm doing this reading. And there's just a lot of like misinformation or not good information out there about the spiritual path. And one of the things that I want to impress upon you, because I feel like this might be, a lot of you might be new to my channel. Okay, I'm getting the feeling of having a lot of new viewers right now, especially Taurus, especially Earth signs. And this is Virgo here. This is Taurus and Libra, Venus ruled energy. And it's just making me feel like, wow, all of a sudden this is happening, and I need to move on from some people, because we're not we're not aligned anymore. Okay. Could be friends. I get the friendship card over here. What is that about? The friendship card. The Knight of Wands. The Sun. The Three of Wands. And the Two of Cups. It's possible that you have someone in your life who might be, you really want this long-term relationship with, but they're not really there. Okay. They're not really into it. So that could just be for a few of you. And that might be where the sort of the conflict is coming from, that this person has some commitment issues, and boy, howdy, you just don't get that. I don't understand that. And so, just because you're in this ascension path doesn't mean you don't want certain things in your 3D life. Those things are, you're not leaving your body. Okay. We are moving into a different phase of our physical development. That's for sure. But, we're going in a direction that if someone isn't really aligning with their spiritual path, then they're making a choice. And that's okay. That's their choice. But if you're trying to change their mind, like, come with me, I don't know if that's going to work out here. I feel like there's another person for you. Could be a priest or a hermit. I don't really mean a priest. I mean like a high priest spiritually. Okay. Three of Swords, Five of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a person who is on their own, who's been very, very, very hurt. And that's why they're being drawn to your path, because this enmeshment thing I was talking about, this is something for you to heal. This is why you get these type of people, who really, whether they're physically ill or they're emotionally not well, or something is off in terms of their health, mental, physical, spiritual. You get these people who are like the wounded soldiers, the walking wounded, the ones who need the most care and all of that. And it's like, this is one of your big lessons, because you kind of try to envelop them. And so the other kind of people you could be drawing to you are people who are like, no, we're not doing that. So some people want you to kind of envelop them, and other people are like, no. And in a really big way, like no commitment. I don't want to make any commitment to you. This is just fun. This is just for laughs, friendship, friendship, friendship only. And your decision to, or your answer to that kind of decision by this person is to try to envelop them, try to see what they're missing, kind of a thing. And I'm here to tell you, I think that this is the month where that stops. All right, I'm going to keep going with this. I will talk to you about the astrology. Let's see what you don't see coming and how this plays out. All right, link is below, Taurus. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.